This is Moonshine and Music with Joe Shelton. Wait a minute, that's me. Anyway, we're going to bring you some inspiring songwriters, musicians, and maybe some side challenges and other stuff around the music industry. So stick with us right now, because the show is coming your way. Woo! Moonshine and Music starts right now. Welcome to Moonshine and Music, and we have today Cyrus Youngman. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
So I'm going to start off this interview by saying that today I have two of the original top 10 that I made people to be on the show. You and Craig, who did an episode earlier.
Oh. I made the top 10? Your top 10?
The first 10 that I made a list of who do I want to have on the show.
Wow.
I had you on here because of the video for New Year's Eve that I just love. Like, absolutely adore. Like, I love everything about that video.
That's one of my favorite things I've ever made.
When it came out, I was like watching like all the little crazy things that are happening, which you could watch that video. If you guys don't know, Cyrus Youngman and the Kingfishers, go find the video for New Year's Eve and watch it over and over. Like, just push pause on us. You can come back. He'll still be here for the interview.
It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse or something. Just going over to the Boyd's house.
I know.
There's so much stuff on the walls, and it's basically like a dive bar, but it's somebody's house.
Yeah, I mean, it's called the Man Cave, but the it's not just the fact that it's in the Man Cave. It's all the people
that
are there
crazy
for
crew
that are there for it.
I know.
It's crazy. I swear I must have watched it 10 times before I was like even like really listening to the song. You know what I mean? I was hearing the song was there, but I wasn't really paying that much attention to it because so much cool stuff was happening in the video.
I know.
And
that video rules.
I also, you know, in a bit of other confession, I have a song that's on my new record that's called Dance With Me, and the Kingfishers get a shout out in it, as well as Chris Wilson and the Heresy. So you might want to go find that song if you haven't heard it yet.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Because the line is something around, you know, we're not the kind of band you'll have at the party. We're not the Kingfishers or Chris Wilson and the Heresy. So, because I feel like my is somewhere in between that. that spectrum.
Right.
If I put you guys on the opposite ends of...
It's not as bumping or...
Yeah, like, you know, yours is like the crazy party thing. Chris is going to be like, hey, we're cool, we're sitting in the corner, and everybody's like kind of cross-legged on the floor listening.
Right,
you know?
Right.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
of that.
It's a blend.
So that's where that line come from. People have asked me, what are you saying about him? I'm like, well, nothing earth-shattering.
Right.
No, so it's really cool to have you on. Now that I've talked about me for 5 minutes.
Go on, man.
Go on, man.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. But yes, I really dug the video, so I put you on that, you know, original list, and for whatever reason, I never got a hold of you or whatnot, and then you moved away, and so, you know, we had to talk about all that stuff. So, you know, where did Cyrus start making music? What age were you when you started playing? You know, was that
I think I was probably around 12 when I heard chords for the first time, and I could play chords, and it just seemed like I could do a lot, you know. That might be where songwriting was born for me. But I heard Elvis when I was 4 years old, and my parents always tell a story about me dancing for 4 hours, and, you know, just being overwhelmed with music, you know, and the joy of music when I was very young. So yeah, I mean...
Was that here in Indy where you grew up, or where did you grow up?
I grew up in Anderson. We were in Chicago when I was very young, and then we moved here, I think when I was 4. I always get it wrong.
So Anderson,
we
Indiana?
moved to Anderson, Indiana, and I grew up there, and I moved to the city when I was 19, I believe, 19 or 20. And I joined a band called Full Monty, playing the drums. which is a great band.
Yeah, was that your
Yeah,
first band? It was called the Full Monty.
That was the first band here in Indy.
What was your first one overall? I love first band names. I collect them as an aside.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, this would be like going so far back. Lightspeed was 5th grade.
Lightspeed. That's awesome.
Lightspeed was 5th grade.
So did you guys play all ballads or something, like completely ironic like that, or?
No, we wrote our own music. We wrote our own stuff, and
Oh wow.
we'd beatbox.
Do you have any of that
I'd get, like-
recorded? Do we get like?
Yeah, I actually I have a recording of something I did in either 4th or 5th grade, and it was all about going to the grocery store.
That could be a topic now. I mean, it could happen in our songwriting challenges.
Yeah. It's all about rebellion. Like,
Yeah.
my mom sends me to the grocery store, and she wanted me to get some bread. I didn't really want to. I'd rather get some candy instead.
I see.
But then it's like, somehow I wrap it up at the end. In the conclusion, the denouement of the song, I decide to get the bread anyways. And because I've been a good boy, she buys me candy anyway. So that's kind of like, archetypal,
Yeah, I mean,
It's
my
like,
mom wouldn't have.
If
but
you do the
I
right,
got, I got
if you do the right thing, hopefully, if there's a benevolent God, which we don't know, you're gonna get some candy at the end. That's what everybody keeps hoping. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but
That's pretty deep for 5th grade. I mean, honestly.
yeah.
So you moved up. You went to the Full Monty, and you played drums. Did you play other instruments when you were younger, or was drums your thing?
I started out playing the piano, and I just didn't like it. I'm not sure if it was reading. I think I just have never been good at reading music, and that made me not enjoy playing the piano. I had a fine teacher, but
When you're
it just
really
didn't
young, they try
work.
to force you into that, right? Like
Yeah.
and it's really hard. It's like higher level math to do reading of music and play it.
Yeah.
And they just pretend, oh well, if you just do this, like it's easy or something, and it's not.
I think it's really good for some people and really bad for other
Yeah.
people. And it's, raising kids is hard. I have never tried it, but from what I hear, it's really difficult. And you can't know if your kid's going to be math minded or artsy fartsy or a blend or totally strange and antisocial but brilliant. You just have no
Right.
idea
Yeah.
until they get to a certain age. So throw them in piano lessons. If they hate it, in 6 months pull them out. It's not a bad idea.
Right.
Just wasn't for me.
So you did piano and some drums. Guitar? What all do you play? I mean, I don't even know.
I picked up guitar. I got a Washburn in Chicago at the folk. What is it called? It's like the Center of Folk Music or something like that in Chicago. And I think I started drumming after I saw this guy named Sam Tompkins, who I haven't talked to or thought of in years and years. But he played in this praise and worship band at the school, and he was just the coolest guy. He'd walk around the halls of the high school with his drumsticks in his back pocket, and he was like the only guy wearing skinny jeans, and he wore like a bandana around his neck, and just like he's the coolest guy ever. And I'd watch him playing the drums. So I've never had a drum lesson in my life, but through watching him and just trying to imitate, I learned how to play the drums. I play harmonica. I can sit down and kind of figure anything out, up to the point where I could write a song, and it would be a special moment with that musical instrument. Oh, mandolin and I came up with this tune, but I wouldn't consider myself an expert really on anything else. Guitar, drums, harmonica,
That's cool.
guitar.
So you were playing in the Full Monty, came into Indy, and where do we go from there?
Well, it's a long story.
That's okay. That's what we're here for. It's a
Yeah.
long form show.
Well, I've always been, like a good kid. who, you know, really wants to help out, you know. And Full Monty, we had it, you know. It's a really special band, and the people in that band were incredibly talented, but we were all operating under this darkness, you know, that same darkness that Robert Johnson met out in the fields at the crossroads or whatever, you know. We were walking that line. Some band members more than others. You know, there's just, after a while, there's alcoholism and substance abuse, and there was a moment where we could have had our break. A guy named Tom Zutot came out to see us, and he put Weezer on the map. A lot of other bands. He was a talent scout. It's the only time in my entire life that I've, you know, met somebody on that scale who was going to make an offer. And at that time, the singer in the band was very unreliable, unpredictable. Loved the guy, but at this time, he was just drinking constantly, not coming to practice, not even coming to certain shows. We didn't know where he was, you know. And I had taken a substance that kind of spoke to me, and it said, you got to get out of this now, you know, or drinking is going to become a real problem. Other things are going to become a problem. This is too unstable. The whole house smells like death, you know. You got to get out of here, you know. And so when Tom came to see our last show, he said, why is this band breaking up? And I kind of told him, I said, I just can foresee a future where, you know, people don't end their lives in a good way, or people end their lives before 27.
Right.
You know. And so I got out of that. I was dating a girl named Joni Ross, who's now Joni Youngman. She's my wife, and we kind of just made a clean break of it. I was unemployed for a while, and I did street performing in Broad Ripple. It kind of made my rent that way. I wrote a novel about street performing, and this really...
What's the name of the record? I mean, the album.
It's called Youngman's
Book.
Youngman's Pilgrimage West.
Right.
And that's about street performing from Indiana all the way to Seattle, down to San Francisco, and then back when I was 19, right before I moved to the city. So it was kind of like a soul-searching journey with my buddy Coyote.
Yeah.
And I finished that book. It was a lot of like sitting there and writing and chain smoking and just not being very good to my body, but writing, you know.
Right.
Then I got a job at the School of Rock, and things kind of took this amazing turn, where I met the Kingfishers and, you know, moved into this house, and suddenly, you know, it's like, you know, I've got something to say. Now I'm the front man. This is really exciting, you know. Because I hadn't been the front man in a band for many years, and really great response from audience, and we made some records. A really unfortunate thing happened about 4 years ago. I got in a car accident, and the top of my spine came slightly dislocated from my skull.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I couldn't play the guitar for 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow.
That's a doozy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But you can play now.
I can play now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it that like took a long time to relearn, or was it that something changed?
Well, so it's a form of atlas subluxation. That's what happened to me. And I didn't know that the bone was out of place for about 3 months, and that was enough time to do nerve damage.
Right.
And all kinds of damage to my back and my arms and tendons and things, and I didn't even know what it was. And I was searching far and wide for, you know, why can't I play the guitar? Yeah, why can't I think straight? It was very scary, very disturbing. You feel like you have two skeletons and they're fighting one another inside of you. And I went to see a guy named Dr. Prather, who said, "Oh boy, and when you see a doctor do that, like,
yeah,
it's not
when
good."
the doctor's scared.
Yeah,
it's
when the
bad.
doctor's scared.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're gonna be fine, but it's not an easy road ahead. If you would have came and seen me, like a day after the car crash, it would have been no problem. But this is gonna be a battle." So he had this machine that shot sound waves and corrected the issue.
Right.
But due to anxiety and also, just not having muscles built up to hold the bones in place, popped back out. And it did this for years and years. People all over this planet they're going through body issues, and, they're silent about it. They're trudging alone with that hot, sad, horrid burden. They know they can't tell anybody about it because
Everybody
they don't
just
have a
think they're whining.
solution.
Yeah.
Either you're just whining, or like you're spreading true like fear.
Right.
Like,
And
no,
nobody wants to hear that. Yeah.
reality's not very kind. And so
Yeah.
I just shouldered this thing for a long time, and then I learned to meditate, and I did a bunch of physical therapy, and it's kind of miraculous. It's miraculous and mysterious.
So a little while ago, you guys took off from Indy.
Yeah.
What happened? What was that about? I read something about your journey, but what was the journey? What made you decide to skip away to a place where you're kind of isolated, from what I understand, right? You were.
Yeah. Well, things got so bad in the city, with my issue,
Your pain,
my physical issue, and I was a guitar teacher that couldn't play the guitar. It was hard.
Right.
It was just like navigating a very intense maze.
Mm-hmm.
I became very distressed and depressed, almost deranged. I just was in a lot of pain.
Not yourself.
I was not myself. Yeah. And I felt very desperate at a certain point. And I told my wife, I said, we got to get out of here. We just got to do something. We got to make a clean break of it, because something bad's going to happen if we don't. That's just this feeling I had. So we kind of explored the idea of becoming park rangers, because we love the national parks. And I thought, I could be in this booth handing people their maps, and that wouldn't be very painful. It just
Right,
it would be a life, and I could go hiking, and we could make a life of it. And that was kind of the decision. We were going to sell our house and just get out of there. And sure enough, we sold our house, and I hadn't thought about this stuff for a while. We sold our house, moved in with the in-laws to save up money, and that's when I went to see Dr. Prather, and he said something is very wrong, because they did a test on my nervous system and said something's very wrong. These results are coming back. You're in the orange. If you're in the red, you die. And it's like a panic disorder. He said right now it's like there's a tiger chasing you.
Well, I mean, the pain can drive you there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And the feeling of like, oh, it's never going to end.
Yeah.
And he said, you need to do something. You need to pursue transcendental meditation. Right now, this is out of my hands. So I did. And I swear, man, it was like, meeting God or something, It was like on that level of spirituality. You see all these movies about it, and you have enough discussions about it over beers around campfires, on road trips, and you're searching for the source. Like, what, where is it? What is it? It was there, and it is there, and I found it, And, you know, it gave me a lot of hope. There's a mantra I chant every single day, and it goes, Om Name Jugad Name Sat Name Sri Gurudev Name. Essentially, that just means I bow to the ancient wisdom. You know, come into me, ancient wisdom. It's kind of Taoist in a lot of ways. You say, ancient wisdom knows what the path is. The path is what's the most interesting thing that could happen, you know, in the story.
Right.
Is, you know, every day or every moment. You say, if I trust in the ancient moment or the ancient wisdom, it's bound to get interesting. It's bound to be a good tale. And that's all I need to worry about. So suddenly I could play the guitar, and suddenly we were all set to move to Marquette. And it was very confusing because, you know, I loved my band, and I still love my band, and but I knew we had to leave, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at this, because you know, the book will come out in 5 years. But we went up to Marquette for a reason. We fought a demon that was living in our friend's cabin up there. I don't think we killed it, but we fought it. We weakened it, you know, for long enough that I think that they're gonna be okay. Then I got a job offer to be music director at the School of Rock. We said, let's go home. And here we are.
Well, it's great that you're back.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
I mean,
man.
I can tell that your spirit's high, that you're
I've been
loving things.
I've been sick for about a week, so I always get all moody and.
It doesn't seem like it. No,
Good,
you seem like
good.
you're in a great place.
Good.
The other question I wanted to ask about, and like, you know, taking it off the heavy and into the light,
Yeah.
your hat.
Yeah.
So like, we have 80 some episodes. We have all sorts of people with different hats. I wear
Yeah.
hats like
Yeah. All the time.
incessantly.
Yeah.
It's just a different hat all the time for me because it's whatever sports hat is cool
Right.
that I like today.
Yeah.
Or what, you know, like right now the Colts, it's in Colts season, so I've got a Colts
You
hat
got a
on.
Colts hat. Yeah.
Right. Where does the seafaring? I mean, it's almost like the captain from Gilligan's Island, right?
Yeah.
Jonas Grumby's hat.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Yep. A lot of people say yacht rock or what is that? They're always calling my wife and I. Anyway. Yeah. So I was on WITT about 3 years ago or 4 years ago or something, and he asked me that same question, and I said, well, it was my grandfather's cap.
Really?
I found it in the basement in this old box, and I put it on my head, and it was meant to be. And then my mom heard that interview, and she said, that's not your grandpa's cap. So I don't know if I was like telling myself a story, or you know how memories get all weird. Maybe it was like in a box next to a bunch of his stuff or something. But it was just a party cap, just like a costume. And I put it on my head, and it felt really good. And when I put it on before I'd go street perform during that period of time where I didn't have a job, the tips doubled. So I was like, you know what? This is my good luck charm.
Damn, I want one of those.
Yeah, it's true. If I'm wearing the hat, my day is significantly luckier. You know, it's like a luckier day. If I don't wear it, I also have to take care of my hair. Nobody likes to do that, and I can't rock I can't rock the buzz cut like you.
Yeah,
so.
I like my hair so much I cut it all off and put a hat over it. So
Right.
that's, you know, we all have our demons, right?
Yeah.
Hey man, you know, we have a segment here that we have to do,
Okay.
and it will definitely lighten the mood.
Yeah.
My man, the Moonshine Genie is going to visit us.
Ooh.
So you have to scooch over a little bit.
Yeah,
let him
let's
in.
go. Let's go.
So this man is Brentley Smith. He is also known as the Moonshine Guru, the world's greatest trivia player, the Moonshine Psychic at times. But today, we're being visited by the Moonshine Genie, Cyrus Youngman, the Moonshine Genie.
Very nice to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, sure. Actually, like my Aunt Jeannie gave this to me, but she said never to touch it, or weird stuff would happen.
Okay.
Let me.
Can you make this stop? What did I do? Wow, that was something, man. I feel like I just like lived the whole universe. You should
I think you
it.
did.
No, I'm
it.
good.
It affects everyone differently.
I've seen what he's done with that thing in the past.
You'd think I'd be more tired, but I feel energized.
I don't know what happens, because when things happen, and it's happening now.
It's happening now.
Hey, I'm the genie. What's up?
Not much, man.
do you want?
Okay, I have thought about this extensively. And, you know,
Extensively.
yeah, I want the greatest whistle.
Like a physical whistle or the ability to whistle?
The ability.
I can't do that.
Like that kind of a whistle?
No, that's the loudest, shrillest whistle. Maybe not the greatest. I think you could make it a little more melodious.
Like
But
a-
if you're trying to get somebody's attention, that's one thing, and that'd be nice, you know, if it's an emergency. That's a good. That is maybe the best whistle in an emergency. But I want the best whistle, like
Like a Andy Griffith show whistle?
exactly, yeah, something that'll like just bring tears to people's eyes.
Yeah, actually,
Now, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a.
all those
I have
wishes
whistling
on
talents.
whistling
People don't know.
have
You
been
do.
exhausted by the Andy Griffith show.
Oh yes.
You can't
Yeah.
redo magic.
No. Okay. Well, boy.
The
So
whistling.
we have to get innovative with our wishes here. We have to wish for something that's never been wished for before.
And
That's
that,
tough.
And that a medium level genie like the Moonshine Genie can provide, which is, you know, sometimes he has his limits.
It's a sliding scale.
Okay.
From what I understand from previous experience.
Okay. I wish to truly be able to appreciate this windy, windy day when I leave here. 'Cause it's billowy out there.
Yeah.
It's blowing.
You can't make it a full appreciation, but like 62% appreciation. That's the best I can do.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'll take it.
You have to come up with the other 38% some other way.
Do I have to give you part of my soul? Because I really like. I need most of that
No, I'm
just
good.
to like make it by. Thanks.
No, he's
Thank
a
you.
freak.
I'm
Okay,
trying to get
that's
rid
a-
of mine.
That's a
That's why I'm
relief.
into this genie stuff.
Just like baggage.
Yeah.
Is that the boulder of Sisyphus?
No, just
Your
like
soul's just a rock you roll up a hill.
no, just away luggage. But none of them have wheels, so it's just too hard to take around. See, what I'm trying to do is grant all these wishes, and then to eventually, empty the luggage.
The luggage is full of wishes, apparently.
It's full
and
of
inside
wishes.
that.
Well, take the cap off. What are you waiting for? It's
It's going to suck its geniness back in there if he takes the cap off.
Have any more requests?
let's see.
Because this is like permanent. This is your one shot.
If your other wish is for him to take the cap off, then that'll happen.
That's easy.
Keep the animals safe. Can you keep the animals safe
From whom?
from us?
Collectively, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a genie. I don't need animals, so it's easy enough for me. But for anyone else, sometimes you get hungry.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I have an affinity for killing chickens.
Chickens.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. They
Yeah.
taste good.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Shrimp.
That's
I
why everything
think
tastes like it.
God gave us potatoes. Man, like I don't need anything else. You fry those suckers up in a skillet. You got salt, enough potatoes.
You want to skillet with
and-
potatoes?
Huh?
Ham.
Ham,
Bacon.
chicken. Yeah.
Take
yeah.
the potato, you put a little bit of bacon and a little bit of cheese on it and bake it. It's a whole different potato when you do that.
Yeah.
I give you like
I just want to keep the animals safe. I'm gonna keep trying.
all right,
If the
I'll give
genie
you a
can't do it.
3.5%.
Yeah.
About
3.5% wish granted.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I
better
guess it's
than
about
nothing.
time for me to What happened?
You didn't go back in.
Oh, apparently he did.
No, Brent's back. I don't know why it just happened.
Brentley
'cause
Smith just returned.
Genie took me.
Brent, where did you go? Did you go to the void?
I don't
was
know
it
what
like?
you call it. I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking what happened.
Is it kind of like amnesia?
What's that? I forgot.
Well, we drew with Sharpie all over your forehead. Show the audience.
Yeah, see,
Now that's embarrassing.
You're gonna check it out later on recording.
Yeah,
You know?
on YouTube.
Yeah, later on YouTube. You're gonna see what happens. If you're just doing the podcast version, then you're just gonna hear what happened.
like a 1920s radio show.
Yeah, you're gonna be stuck. But
The world is not
you know,
real.
I think that if you're listening on the podcast, that watching it just to see this segment is a good reason to switch over to YouTube for a minute. You don't have to do the whole episode. Just
The
that.
genie segment.
The genie segment is definitely a visual.
It's wonderful.
That is
I'm
not
definitely
to be
going to do
lost.
that because I don't know what the hell just happened.
All right, everybody. Comedian Brent Lee Smith.
Woo woo! Very
The
nice to
Moonshine
meet you.
Genie.
The Moonshine Genie.
So, what are you going to sing for us today?
I'm gonna sing a song called Pinocchio,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm supposed to do two. I can't figure out what to do next because I'm writing these new songs, and it's so confusing. Because in the moment, I really think they're good, and then I listen back, and I'm not sure. Maybe that means that they're not good, but they're so fresh. I haven't decided yet. If I feel really, really gutsy, I might try one of these
All right.
new guys.
Well, I mean, we're up for whatever ones you want to do. As long as they're original songs, we're all happy.
Cool.
So,
Cool. Well, I'm
I'll-
gonna do some T Swift then.
that's only original for her. If you can get her on to do her songs, we are all in. I mean,
That'd
it's
be-
got to be good for everybody else's
That'd be
ratings,
pretty cool.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we get a Taylor Swift episode, then I'm certain the 4 episodes around it are going to get a lot more traffic just through osmosis, right?
Probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're all in. Taylor,
Taylor,
listen,
if you're out there,
we
come
invite
join
you.
us here at
Please
Books and
come.
Brews.
We don't even have to invite you. Just drop by whenever you want. We'll actually even film it on a different day. It's all.
We'll play
it's all good.
Dungeons and Dragons with you.
Or Jenga.
The whole
I mean,
night.
whatever.
We can do Jenga.
Right? Yeah, we
whatever
can-
your
or
jam
Scrabble.
is.
You know, there's a lot of
Right.
games around here. We
Right.
won't even make you sit through the Moonshine Genie. We'll just. we'll just do it.
All
All
right.
right. All right. We're going to be right back on the Moonshine and Music stage with Cyrus Youngman. Thank you for coming in today.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
This song is called Pinocchio. Sing a single life you're living
motion catches up to you. The maintenance in time you knew would rob you of your youth. Now you must remember the things you have been taught. Staying still to run away. Take a smoke to kill the flame. The rain is driving down. Dogs they bark, but in the dark, without a spark, you can't see everything you lost. Jesus is busy bleeding high above the human rodeo. Enough blood from his hands, he just might make the stinging plot of it all stop, you know. If I could have a son that would go on killing himself every morning and evening, I would have no fear of hell. Yes, I would retire. I'd move straight into heaven where they don't allow fire. But everybody's body would glow, and there I would make my home. 'Cause there'd be nothing left to know. I'd leave the rest to Pinocchio. I'd leave it all to Pinocchio. Thank you. Here's a new one. I've been searching for you everywhere, under the stars and out in the stars. I've been looking for you in every place, in every face, in every heart. These eyes are the windows into my soul. There is horror and there is joy flowing out over my cheekbones and into the soil where I am growing gold tomatoes. I am growing gold tomatoes. Wouldn't it be great if we were eternally encased in an embrace of amazing grace and honesty? I've been searching for you everywhere, under the stars and out in the stars. I've been looking for you in every place, in every face, in every heart. Thank you so much. I'm Cyrus Youngman.
Moonshine and Music is a presentation of Notlehs Entertainment. Copyright 2019, all rights reserved. Our producer is Joe Shelton. Our cameraman, grip, and stunt double is Brent Lee Smith. On cameras and all sorts of other stuff, Bailey Shelton. And our staff guru is Brent Schlemmer. Join us each Sunday for more episodes of Moonshine and Music.